Hello, I'm glad you're here. I'm NatsMan, and I'm reading the Bible from the beginning to the end, from Genesis to Revelations. Please join me in this journey and make God's Word a part of your everyday life. This is video number 139, and today we're reading from the book of 2 Kings, starting in chapter 22. 2 Kings chapter 22. Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 31 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jedidah, the daughter of Adiah of Bozkath. He did that which was right in the Lord's eyes, and walked in all the ways of David his father, and didn't turn away to the right hand or to the left. In the 18th year of King Josiah, the king sent Shaphan, the son of Azaliah, the son of Meshullam, the scribe, to the Lord's house, saying, Go up to Hilkiah, the priest, the high priest, that he may count the money which is brought into the Lord's house, which the keepers of the threshold have gathered of the people. Let them deliver it into the hand of the workers who have the oversight of the Lord's house, and let them give it to the workers who are in the Lord's house, to repair the damage to the house, to the carpenters, and to the builders, and to the masons, and for buying timber and cut stone to repair the house. However, no accounting shall be asked of them for the money delivered into their hand, for they deal faithfully. Hilkiah, the high priest, said to Shaphan, the scribe, I have found the book of the law in the Lord's house. Hilkiah delivered the book to Shaphan, and he read it. Shaphan the scribe came to the king and brought the king word again and said, Your servants have emptied out the money that was found in the house, and have delivered it into the hands of the workmen who have the oversight of the Lord's house. Shaphan the scribe told the king, saying, Hilkiah the priest has delivered a book to me. Then Shaphan read it before the king. When the king had heard the words of the book of the law, he tore his clothes. The king commanded Hilkiah the priest, Ahikam the son of Shaphan, Achbor the son of Micaiah, Shaphan the scribe, and Azariah the king's servant, saying, Go inquire of the Lord for me, and for the people, and for all Judah, concerning the words of this book that is found. For great is the Lord's wrath that is kindled against us, because our fathers have not listened to the words of this book, to do according to all that which is written concerning us. So Hilkiah the priest, Ahikam, Achbor, Shaphan, and Azariah went to Huldah the prophetess, the wife of Shallum, the son of Tikvah, the son of Harhas, keeper of the wardrobe. Now she lived in Jerusalem in the second quarter, and they talked with her. She said to them, The Lord, the God of Israel, says, Tell the men who sent you to me, the Lord says, Behold, I will bring evil on this place and on its inhabitants, even all the words of the book which the king of Judah has read, because they have forsaken me and have burnt incense to other gods, that they might provoke me to anger with all the work of their hand. Therefore my wrath shall be kindled against this place, and it will not be quenched. But to the king of Judah, who sent you to inquire of the Lord, tell him, The Lord, the God of Israel, says, concerning the words which you have heard, because your heart was tender, and you humbled yourself before the Lord when you heard what I spoke against this place and against its inhabitants, that they should become a desolation and a curse, and have torn your clothes and wept before me, I also have heard you, said the Lord. Therefore, behold, I will gather you to my fathers, and you will be gathered to your grave in peace. your eyes will not see all the evil which I will bring on this place. So they brought this message back to the king. That was 2 Kings 22. This is 23. The king sent, and they gathered to him all the elders of Judah and of Jerusalem. The king went up to the Lord's house, and all the men of Judah and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with him, with the priests, the prophets, and all the people, both small and great. And he read in their hearing all the words of the book of the covenant which was found in the Lord's house. The king stood by the pillar and made a covenant before the Lord to walk after the Lord and to keep his commandments, his testimonies, and his statutes with all his heart and all his soul, to confirm the words of this covenant that were written in this book. And all the people agreed to the covenant. The king commanded Hilkiah the high priest and the priests of the second order and the keepers of the threshold to bring out of the Lord's temple all the vessels that were made for Baal, for the Asherah, and for all the army of the sky, and he burnt them outside of Jerusalem in the fields of the Kidron, and carried their ashes to Bethel. He got rid of the idolatrous priests whom the kings of Judah had ordained to burn incense in the high places in the cities of Judah and in the places around Jerusalem, those also who burnt incense to Baal, to the sun, to the moon, to the planets, and to all the army of the sky. He brought out the Asherah from the Lord's house, outside of Jerusalem, to the brook of Kidron, and burnt it at the brook Kidron, and beat it to dust, and cast its dust onto the graves of the common people. He broke down the houses of the male shrine prostitutes that were in the Lord's house, where the women wove hangings for the Asherah. He brought all the priests out of the cities of Judah and defiled the high places where the priests had burned incense, from Geba to Beersheba. And he broke down the high places of the gates that were at the entrance of the gate of Joshua, the governor of the city, which were on a man's left hand at the gate of the city. Nevertheless, the priests of the high places didn't come up to the Lord's altar in Jerusalem, but they ate unleavened bread amongst their brothers. He defiled Topheth, which is in the valley of the children of Hinnom, that no man might take his son or his daughter to pass through the fire to Moloch. He took away the horses that the kings of Judah had dedicated to the sun at the entrance of the Lord's house by the room of Nathan-Melech, the officer who was in the court, and he burnt the chariots of the sun with fire. The king broke down the altars that were on the roof of the upper room of Ahaz, which the kings of Judah had made, and the altars which Manasseh had made in the two courts of the Lord's house, and beat them down from there, and cast their dust into the brook Kidron. The king defiled the high places that were before Jerusalem, which were on the right hand of the mountain of corruption, which Solomon, the king of Israel, had built for Asheroth, the abomination of the Sidonians, and for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, and for Milcom, the abomination of the children of Ammon. He broke in pieces the pillars, cut down the Asherah poles, and filled their places with men's bones. Moreover, the altar that was on Bethel, and the high place where Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, had made, even that altar and the high place he broke down, and he burnt the high place and beat it to dust and burnt the Asherah. So Josiah turned himself, he spied the tombs that were there in the mountain, and he sent and took the bones out of the tombs and burnt them on the altar and defiled it, according to the Lord's word, which the man of God proclaimed, who proclaimed these things. Then he said, "What monument is that which I see?" The men of the city told him, "It is the tomb of the man of God who came from Judah and proclaimed these things that you have done against the altar of Bethel." He said, "Let him be, let no one move his bones." So they let his bones alone with the bones of the prophet who came out of Samaria. All the houses also of the high places that were in the cities of Samaria, which the kings of Israel had made to provoke the Lord to anger, Josiah took away and did to them according to all the acts that he had done in Bethel. He killed all the priests of the high places that were there on the altars and burnt men's bones on them, and he returned to Jerusalem. The king commanded all the people, saying, Keep the Passover to the Lord your God, as it is written in this book of the covenant. Surely there was not kept such a Passover from the days of the judges who judged Israel, nor in all the days of the kings of Israel, nor of the kings of Judah. But in the 18th year of King Josiah, this Passover was kept to the Lord in Jerusalem. Moreover, Josiah removed those who had familiar spirits, the wizards and the teraphim and the idols, and all the abominations that were seen in the land of Judah and in Jerusalem, that he might confirm the words of the law which were written in the book that Hilkiah the priest found in the Lord's house. There was no king like him before him, who turned to the Lord with all his heart, and with all his soul, and with all his might, according to all the law of Moses, and there was none like him who arose after him. Notwithstanding, the Lord didn't turn from the fierceness of his great wrath, with which his anger burnt against Judah, because of all the provocation with which Manasseh had provoked him. The Lord said, I will also remove Judah out of my sight, as I have removed Israel, and I will cast off this city which I have chosen, even Jerusalem, and the house of which I said, My name shall be there. Now the rest of the acts of Josiah, and all that he did, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? In his days, Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt, went up against the king of Assyria to the river Euphrates, and King Josiah went with him. But Pharaoh Necho killed him at Megiddo when he saw him. His servants carried him dead in a chariot from Megiddo, brought him to Jerusalem, and buried him in his own tomb. The people of the land took Jehoahaz, the son of Josiah, and anointed him, and made him king in his father's place. Jehoahaz was 23 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 3 months in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. He did that which was evil in the Lord's sight, according to all that his fathers had done. Pharaoh Necho put him in bonds at Riblah in the land of Hamath, that he might not reign in Jerusalem, and put the land to the tribute of 100 talents of silver and a talent of gold. Pharaoh Necho made Eliakim, the son of Josiah, king in the place of Josiah his father, and changed his name to Jehoiakim, because he took Jehoahaz away, and he came to Egypt and died there. Jehoiakim gave the silver and the gold to Pharaoh, but he taxed the land to give the money according to the commandment of Pharaoh. He exacted the silver and the gold of the people of the land, and everyone according to his assessment, to give it to Pharaoh Necho. Jehoiakim was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Zebidah, the daughter of Pedaiah of Rumah. He did that which was evil in the Lord's sight, according to all that his fathers had done. That was 2 Kings 23, and the end of this video. That was the book of 2 Kings, chapters 22 and 23, on video number 139. I'd like to thank you for joining me in this project, this endeavor to read the entire Bible. I hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed reading it. And I apologize for the phone ringing a couple times during that one, but I thought I had it silenced. Sorry. Please feel free to comment if you'd like. Also, please subscribe and give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If this is your first visit to NatsMan Reads the Bible, I will leave a link in the description below to the intro video that explains what we're working to accomplish here. I hope you come back for the next video, and until then, thank you. I hope you have a blessed day. I'm NatsMan, and I'm out.